population. And basically,
Oh.
what happened there was the idea of propagating diseases of certain types had an ill effect on Silver's mental wiring.
See, my first reaction was that it wasn't going to be about disease spread. It was going to be about if you develop a bacterium that compromises latex condoms, you're going to have all this hospital equipment that's going to start rotting when previously it was non-biodegradable. So like all of your IV tubes and your like blood bags and saline solution bags, like all those are basically latex, and they're going to start rotting.
You know what this is?
What's that?
I literally had a thought for like a second that, I could just make my channel raid lit as we started this thing. But then you all reminded me of why I should not do that.
Honestly, you should quit the show.
Happy to be of service.
And I say that with all the love in the world, but you shouldn't be here.
Well, bear in mind, for a brief moment in time, she did.
Yes, on this episode of Genocide Thursdays, we go into
Welcome,
medical
viewers, to the
genocide.
Twitch equivalent of one of those shitty Hallmark movies where a rich person learns to live life better by slumming it up with their new ghetto friends. Except in this movie, I'm going to the basement of a local shitty strip club and nearly get my kidney stripped out. I am too famous for this shit show, yet here I am watching this dysfunctional group try to figure their way out of this boat. And I'm not talking about this squad of walking anime cliches within the game itself. The only thing keeping me here and not making dinner is that I have a bag of Doritos. Welcome to AlphaWit and Kirk Thursdays. Now guest starring the Admiral at a rate that you can't remotely afford.
We only knew her before she was famous, and that's the only reason she's still here.
Never forget where you came from.
You should forget where you came from. This is bad for you.
I should forget where I came from.
We can absolutely meet your rider. Whatever weird Doritos-related stipulations are in your rider, we can meet them.
We can meet everything except for the financial requirement.
Letting you within 100 feet of her Doritos is probably a bad idea.
Letting Silver within 100 feet of her is against her rider.
I'm
My money's on the Admiral.
I'm only asking for all of the other laymen out there, not for myself, of course. What is a rider?
Oh, a rider is the. You do know what this is. You just might not know what it's called. It's
it's when a man and a woman love each other very much, but the man's kind of lazy.
Oh, for Christ's sake!
That's a very crude way of putting it.
That's very funny. A rider is the agreement part of a performance contract of things that need to be met in order for a performer to show up. The most famous example, and it was supposed to be an illustration of how picky they were. I want to say it was the Rolling Stones had a clause in their rider that they wanted a bowl of M&Ms, but there couldn't be any brown ones.
Oh, I mean, the brown ones are I don't know. I feel like,
Well, here's the reason why that's there. Is this was a canary in the coal mine. And this story came out a little bit afterwards. It's not that they're so picky that they're like rock stars and they want people to do like a menial task for them. It's that they had a lot of pyrotechnics and like stagecraft stuff. And also in the rider is exactly how the stage needed to be set up in order for those things to go off safely. So if they got into their dressing room or the green room and there were brown M&Ms in the bowl, it means that it's a sign that they weren't being careful. And if they weren't being careful with that, then what else were they not careful with? And they would refuse to perform.
Yeah, specifically that was Eddie Van Halen.
That's the one. That's right.
Oh.
That sounds neurotic as fuck.
That's clever.
It's a clever way to do it. It makes them seem neurotic. Like I helped hire a small band for a college club once, and their rider was mostly like, "We will need dinner. It needs to be vegan. Please not salads."
Oh, good lord.
Well, because if they allowed that to be salad, all they would ever eat when they were on tours, people would just give them salads every day.
Never mind. We'll have
I
someone
kind of
else.
feel that.
So I thought that was pretty fair. What they didn't put on their rider is now that they started traveling with a drummer, she would also need dinner. They didn't specify food for 3. They just said 2. So we had to run to the student center real fast and get her like a turkey sub.
Was she all right with that?
Yeah, she was super chill about it, but I think they probably updated their rider shortly thereafter because well-meaning college kids like me were trying so hard to like do the right thing, and they were the ones who forgot to mention that now they have a drummer.
Well,
And the drummer wasn't vegan.
She thankfully was not vegan, because I didn't think the student center had any vegan food.
well, I know who that falls on, and it's not the student staff.
Yeah, I felt really bad about that because we scheduled them for the day before like a 3-day weekend where everybody tended to go home.
Mm.
And we booked one of the bigger performance spaces and could only get like 15 people.
Oh,
Mm.
Yeah, I felt bad.
oops.
Oops.
Yep. I mean, we paid their fee and we got them their dinner and we fulfilled their rider. They just didn't have like, you know, the most satisfying of their performances.
They
Well,
only barely outnumbered the audience.
Well, maybe next time they'll pick a weekend that's not an extended one.
That was my bad, I think.
Really?
I mean, I was the one who scheduled. It was between me and the vice president of our club, and the other club. So it was the group was a lesbian and a trans man, and they were both Asian American.
Hmm.
And then their drummer friend, who was probably also a lesbian given her aesthetics, but I try not to judge on sight. And so
Did you?
the gay club teamed up with the Asian American club to pay for it. And so we got a couple of the gay kids and a couple of the Asian kids, and I think nobody who wasn't in the club or close friends with someone in the club. Because everybody wanted to go home. It was like the first long weekend of the semester.
Mm.
Um,
I have exactly one question out of this mess.
eh?
Did you ever ask the drummer out?
No, they were, the band
Okay.
was pretty significantly older than me at the time. I think I was still a freshman. And I
Oh.
think
Plus, Wit's type is musician, but it's straight musician.
my type is clergy.
I don't think her type. I was gonna say I don't think her type is straight anything.
No, my type is super straight.
Oh.
The most beautiful woman in the world.
It's sitting behind you. Don't finish that sentence.
Yes, dear. It's sitting behind me. I won't finish that sentence. But the woman who ticked like all of my boxes was a neighbor of my parents because she was straight, married, and the pastor
Oh.
of the church across the street.
Well.
She was not
What
a
the fuck
redhead.
is
I
wrong
didn't
with
start
you?
getting into redheads until later in life. But my type in high school was straight, Christian, and taken. And when that new pastor moved in across the street, I was like, oh, I see.
We're
It
still
took-
talking, game. Shut up.
It took me a long time to get into the groove of dating, of going for women who had the potential on this earth to want to date me back.
Hmm.
And a couple of false starts. And one time where I got incredibly lucky. And then incredibly unlucky because she was straight and taken, but did like me back, but didn't ever drop the taken part. And that's not something I want to get into
Is
tonight.
girl just making a face at you right now?
I can feel some kind of vibe here.
She was straight until we started fooling around. She
Oh.
eventually stopped identifying as straight. It took some doing.
That sounds like a pretty good strategy on your part to like identify someone who you think is turnable. And then you can have like first dibs.
First dibs were sometimes great and sometimes not worth the trouble.
That's funny.
Because sometimes you're like, somebody's like, oh my god, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. And sometimes you're somebody's like, I'm still not sure. And the I'm still not sure is actually pretty tough on the ego.
Now, you're into redheads now, right?
I'm into one redhead.
Oh, good.
That's all I need, baby.
Also sitting behind you?
Yes.
Hmm.
Kuro's in the room, but she's not on the call, I don't think. Are you on the call? Okay.
No.
I guess we should play.
Although I wouldn't mind her returning
yeah.
the favor that you gave us last night.
Oh, she's eating dinner, and actually I have to eat while I play too.
Okay.
But maybe when she's done crunching, she will join us.
I've
Not
never
required.
not eaten
We
while we're
have a full
playing.
house tonight. It's not like we need. Oh, where were we?
We stopped in the middle of a fucking room, didn't we?
That doesn't sound like us.
We were doing a series of puzzles. We had a key card, but we needed a key, like a physical key, to get through a door.
Did
I
we
think-
grab the...
No.
Okay, let me mute my mic and just steer so I can eat the soup.
Basically, what that
Speaking
means
of-
is the rest of us will be doing the talking.
Speaking of favors that were done during yesterday's stream, no favors were done to any fucking occultists. I feel slighted. Kuro. I thought we were friends, or at least dependents.
Stopped.
I don't
Do
think
I
they
need to
found
change
any
my
yet.
Do I need to
Wasn't Kuro-
change my tax
We are yet
forms,
to be out of
Kuro?
danger. You're right. Let's
You know,
hurry.
she's
Wasn't-
right here, right?
Wasn't Kuro's
Yeah.
fault, by the way.
Uranus card too. Hey, Junpei.
Yeah, I know.
She has promised that as soon as they find one, it will be you.
All right,
Mhm.
it's open.
Hooray.
But
Let's
they
go.
did find Alice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw.
Okay, Neptune key. Let's see if you work. Yes, I think it unlocked.
Yeah, we did have the Neptune game.
It says incinerator.
We're probably like 2 minutes away from the ending, and
So this is the
We're
incinerator.
gonna have to scramble to Hail Mary a new thing for the stream.
This is the
Looking at the
first time I've seen it
flowchart,
from
I
this
highly
side,
doubt
but
that
yeah,
that's true.
I think so.
Oh, that's
Then there ought
right.
to be a
There's like
lever near the
8
door.
chapters
Yeah,
left.
right here.
I forgot.
Oh, really? I thought we jumped
Yeah,
like right to
and
the
the door
last
should
thing.
open.
Once
it.
we finished the last thing, there was more, and we looked on the flowchart, and there's like 8 more.
Let's go.
Yeah, here you go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks after this.
And this one is new as well. Like we
Yep.
just hit the novel one,
Yep,
so it's 6, not 8.
Gotcha.
close enough. Point is, we got a little more work to do here.
In the correct order of magnitude.
What the hell is going on? What's wrong? Are you okay?
Jumpy, you came to get me.
Of course I did. I made a promise.
I'm so glad you're here. So glad.
Hey, what happened to you?
I'm fine. I just fainted.
She-
I
She's
wasn't
having
Wait,
PTSD.
okay. I'm getting a little bit jumbled with the crazy conspiracy theories that Wit was advancing, where she would tell us that she looked up the ending and then she would tell us something insane.
It was all
And
pure
the
bullshit,
actual
I believe.
insanity. Is she a ghost? We know that she died, right? She got
Yeah.
incinerated?
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, in one of the endings or prior to
No.
now? Like,
Prior to now, Santa is organizing. Santa is 0, and Santa is 0 because he was friends with June, sisters with June. No,
Yeah, they're brother
friends
and
with
sister.
June. Okay.
Brother, sister.
Well, then who's Clover? No, Clover is his sister. No, Clover is Snake's sister. Gotcha. Okay. June is Santa's sister, and June died in the incinerator because Ace forced her in there.
Because Ace is an asshole.
Because Ace is an asshole. Like, 10 years ago. And
Ace is the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals,
Right.
who ran the nonary game 9 years ago to try and discover more about morphogenic fields.
Right.
And so Santa and June and Snake and Clover were all involved. Clover was in the Nevada facility. The rest of them were in this facility. And Seven was a police detective who managed to get onto the ship and was in the process of rescuing the kids. When Ace came barreling in and was like, "No, you're fucking up the experiment," grabbed June, and in a horrible series of events, locked her in the incinerator and she died.
This was 10 years ago.
Yes. So what we haven't figured out, the story
well,
hasn't
9 years ago,
Yeah.
because everything has to be 9.
The story hasn't figured out if that girl died 9 years ago, then who is this?
I see.
And that's everything you missed on Glee.
But wouldn't Santa have recognized her? Or if he did,
Unless
he just
he's-
didn't say anything.
Unless he's hiding it in
A
case
lot of
anybody
people were
important is
hiding
watching.
things. Like, one of the reasons Snake that never talked is that, like, that there was a threatening note in Braille in his pocket of, like, don't tell anybody that you were involved 9 years ago.
Or else.
So, we're all pretty sure, and I think the game is sure, that Santa is 0 for right now, and has kidnapped all of the people involved in her death, because everyone kind of has a connection. The 9th man was another employee of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. I'll go in number order. Ace was the CEO.
Right.
Snake was another student that was there. Santa is him, 0.
And also another student.
Yeah, Clover was a child involved in the experiment, although she was at the other facility. I guess we're good friends with June. I'm not entirely sure why we're here, to be honest. Where am I? 6 is June. 7 is Seven, the detective who tried to save them.
But doesn't
And
remember that.
He
Or at least
just,
claims not
in
to.
this timeline, his memories did just come back.
Oh, okay.
8 is Lotus, and her twins were kidnapped as part of the experiment, but she did get them back.
Twins?
And the 9th man was...
We're talking about her children, not her tits.
Oh. I thought you meant that she had
What's
2
that about
sisters, in which
tits?
case she'd be like
I'd wandered
a
away.
triplet.
What's
No,
up?
I'm sorry, her twin daughters.
Massive mommy milkers, that's what about tits.
Yeah.
Yay!
So I'm hoping what we will
We did it.
discover... My conspiracy theory that I jokingly posted is that the
Mammoth
spirit of June has
matronly
inhabited
melons.
the body of the ice mummy, and she's like channeling her, and that June maybe doesn't even know that she's dead, and Santa is just trying to get his sister back or something. I can't remember what. Somebody scroll up in our chat and find the thing I posted, because I thought it was funny. Because I
In what
really
chat?
Laverne and Shirley it off the cliff at the end there.
Oh, with the dog ghost? Let me find it.
Dog? I don't even remember that.
I'm not
the
even sure
Ghost
which
of the
channel.
Rats. It was the Ghost of the Rats, is what it was.
I don't even know what channel that was put in.
I'm assuming
It
it's AlphaWit.
Yeah.
No, it's
Rat. Or
unless I'm nuts, it's not.
Oh
June
god,
Pay?
how is Animal getting anime titties in the search? Discord, your search function is completely broken.
Wait, say what now?
Kirk, what was your question?
Wouldn't Junpei know that June is dead?
No, because
No.
He thinks she just moved away, right?
yes.
Oh.
I believe she, in his timeline, got kidnapped after she moved.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
I do not
The-
see it here.
Alright. Quote, I looked it up. The dog in the painting went back in time to ancient Egypt, was cryogenically frozen, transformed into a woman, was recovered from the Titanic disaster. Her spirit possessed 1,000 laboratory rats and June as well, and is seeking revenge for the loss of the rats using Cradle Pharmaceuticals as a representative evil of all unethical scientific testing.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And the
Okay.
worst part was that I did not know you were joking.
I forgot about that anecdote where they like tortured 1,000 rats. This game has gone off every possible rail. Alright, I'm
Yeah.
gonna start clicking again and finish my
Yeah. Thanks for catching me.
I'm feeling
Mm.
a lot better now, though.
Are you sure?
Yes. I just need to rest a little longer. I'm sure I'll be fine. You shouldn't worry about me.
Santa.
Hey, where is it? Where's the gun? You hide it somewhere?
I don't have it. I got sucker punched and they took the gun.
What? Who took it?
What? Isn't that obvious?
I took the gun.
Ace.
There they are.
Just what the hell
All
do
right,
you think
time
you're
to play a
doing, Ace?
game of is that how boobs work?
What?
Is that how boobs work? I think it might be.
Or maybe I ought to say Gentaro Hongo, CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
I feel like her right boob, our left, our left boob, should be a little bit higher than the other one based on her posture, but
I was gonna say, would you like to grammar there?
I don't have a huge problem with this drawing.
did she always have highlights in her hair like that and I just didn't notice?
You just we're never looking at her hair.
I really may not have been. I may have just always been staring at, not even at her tits. I may have just always been staring at the moon and star on her
How does that stick on?
pelvic bone.
We've been
You
arguing
have
about
me
that
at a
for like forever.
disadvantage,
Also, I see I've come back
I
in
don't
time
like
for
that.
breasticles.
You know me, but I don't know you. Do you have any idea how much I've suffered? Can you even begin to understand my pain?
The pain of prosopagnosia, right?
Another irritating insect. And how do you know that?
Good question.
No matter. If you don't want to answer, it makes no difference to me. This is a waste of time anyway. It's time for me to go.
The other thing you need to know about this timeline is that Junpei keeps getting flashes of things that we discovered in other timelines, and he doesn't know why he's getting them. It's probably like a morphogenic field thing.
Yeah. As we play the other timelines, we saturate the morphogenic field with information that he now has access to, despite the fact that he's never experienced it.
Gotcha.
We saturate the morphogenic
First
field with
is
food.
1. Give me your hand. 8. And with this, 9.
The ninth man. Kubota's bracelet.
I believe I've won this game. I've had quite a time playing with you. I must thank Zero, I suppose.
Wait, what? Ace doesn't know who Zero is. What the hell are you planning, Santa?
At any rate, this game ends now. I will escape, and the rest of you will have a slightly less pleasant ending. I suggest you enjoy your final moments. Goodbye. Wait! What? Why isn't it opening? One more time. Now open!
See, that looks more like boobs in motion.
No! What is this?
Is that the name of our
Why?
new band?
That digital
Boobs
route
in
should be
motion?
9! It
Yeah.
has to be 9! Then why? Why isn't it opening?
Actually, her left boob is kind of going like into her armpit, which I suppose you could do if she was being whipped around to her left and then suddenly stopped.
That's kind of where breast tissue retreats to, especially when you're like laying on your back.
Retreats to.
Run away!
Part of me is kind of hoping for advantage action or something. Did he just...
Oh.
Oh, that was close.
Don't mention it. Just one punch ain't enough for this piece of shit. After what he did 9 years ago, I ought to rip him to pieces. But if a suspect can't talk, they ain't much good. Once he's locked up in a cell, we're gonna have a little chat. 9 years ago? Then you must be... Yeah, you finally figured it out, dumbass. Oh.
Ace, you killed Kubota, Nijisaki, and Musashido, didn't you?
Wait, Nijisaki?
Oh, right. You don't know yet. All right. We'll just go through them in order then. Let's start off with Kubota. You talked to Kubota and managed to convince him to go into door 5 alone.
We've already been over
You
this.
killed him without making it look like you killed him. The way I figure it, you had 4 motives. 1. In the nonary game, the number 9 is dangerous. Whoever had the 9 bracelet could join whatever team they wanted. Adding 9 to any number doesn't change the digital root, which means that number 9 could do whatever they wanted. You wanted to remove that threat as soon as possible. 2. You wanted the number 9 bracelet for yourself, so that you could make use of its power. In fact, you did use it in the murder of Nijisaki. 3. Even if his number hadn't been 9, Kubota was a problem. He knew your past. He knew what had happened 9 years before. You needed to silence him before he told anyone. 4. But last, and perhaps the most disturbing, you used Kubota as a test. You wanted to know how serious this nonary game was. Was it truly life or death, or simply a harmless prank? You convinced him to break the rules so you could see what would happen. That was why you killed Kubota. But he was only the first. Next was Nijisaki. While everyone was off looking for the missing parts for the Reds, you ran into Nijisaki near the big hospital room. However, because of your prosopagnosia, you didn't realize he was Nijisaki. Chiefly because, when you met him, he was dressed like Snake. That was why you thought Nijisaki was Snake.
No, that's not... That was Nijisaki? Why? How did...
I'll get to that. Anyway, you thought he was Snake. Snake was one of the kids in your experiment 9 years ago. You remembered him because he was the blind kid, but his presence made you think. Snake was one of my subjects 9 years ago. He probably hates me. But if that's true, why isn't he saying anything? Is he keeping quiet because he can't see? Or perhaps he's working with Zero to get revenge on me. Whatever the reason, anyone who knows my past is a threat. Before he tries anything, I need to get rid of him. That was when you decided you had to kill him. The murder weapon was Kubota's bracelet. You just waved it over the red. Verified your own number and then grabbed Nijisaki's arm and forced it over the scanner panel. Then, when the door opened, you kicked him in. 9 seconds later, the door closed. And then 81 seconds passed. And poor Nijisaki was dead.
Then you mean to say... Snake is still alive?
Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm as good as new.
And wearing
Thank you for
vampire
killing the
robes.
wrong man. But I can't say I like knowing that you wanted me dead. Although, to be
Listen,
honest, even if you
In
hadn't
this
tried to kill me,
situation, you don't ask
I would
man
still
about
hate you
Carol.
very much.
Well, I wouldn't blame you.
Last but not least, let's talk about Musashido's death. When Clover and I were investigating the chart room, you came over to talk to me. Do you remember what you said?
Oh, a pocket watch. Might I take a look at it?
I handed it to you, and you left the room. You had been in charge of the Nonary project. Of course you would have known the solution to every puzzle, which would mean that you also knew how to get out of the wheelhouse. All you had to do was place the watch in the indentation on the door to unlock it. With the door open, you could enter the captain's quarters. Musashido was there. Conveniently placed next to him was an axe that practically begged you to kill him with it. You picked up that axe and buried the blade deep in the other man's chest.
Okay, so I don't quite remember it was an axe
One
murder,
blow was
but-
all it took. And then you returned to the chart room as if nothing had happened.
How did he know who it was?
There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment?
I had no
And
reason
then
to
we
say
told him to
no,
fuck off.
so I followed you to the wheelhouse. When we stepped inside, remember how you slipped your hand into my vest? You pulled out a piece of paper, the one I used to cheat during the vote. But that wasn't really what you were after. Your true purpose had been to slip the watch into my pocket. It wasn't a very good plan. Had way too many holes, and someone saying the wrong thing could have brought it all down around you. You must have been desperate, but what made you willing to risk it all to do it? Ace, Musashido's murder is the only one I don't understand. You obviously did it, but why?
Because of this.
What's with the paper?
Just read it.
Let's see. Number 1. There are 2 ways you might survive this ordeal. The first is to win the Nonary game. The second is for you to confess your sins of 9 years past. I have prepared a camera in the captain's quarters. The images captured by that camera will be streamed through a satellite and distributed across the world. Simply look into the camera and repent. Once you have confessed everything, I will release you from this ship. To make your confession more credible, I have left you a witness in the captain's quarters. Perhaps he will confess with you. The decision is yours. Do as you please. 0.
When I awoke in that room on D-Deck, I found that in my pocket. That was why I chose door 1 when we voted. If I went through that door, I knew I could get to the captain's quarters. As you said, I knew how to enter the wheelhouse. My plan was to find the pocket watch before anyone else. If I could, then my alibi would be set. At least, that was the plan. Unfortunately for me, you got to it first. That sleight of hand was the best I could manage on short notice.
You meant to kill him from the beginning then? Musashido, I mean.
I only knew Musashido was the witness after I reached the captain's quarters. I asked him, and he answered. He seemed groggy. Perhaps he had only just awoken from sedation. I suppose Nijisaki was in much the same state. He seemed confused and disoriented when I encountered him. But yes, you are correct. I intended to kill him from the beginning, even though I didn't know who he was. I proceeded to the captain's quarters in order to remove this so-called witness.
Ace, you figured it out, haven't you? You were being manipulated.
Yes, so it would seem. I was little more than a puppet, in many ways. Everywhere I went, everything was already prepared. The Reds in the large hospital room were dismantled. Nijisaki was dressed like Snake. There was an axe in the captain's quarters. Musashido was delirious from the anesthetic, so he couldn't fight back. Nijisaki as well. In retrospect, I can't understand how I could have fallen into such a simple trap. But yes.
Cause you a bitch.
Yeah,
This was
because
a
you're
trap.
the scum of the earth.
It was Zero's trap, and I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I did everything he wanted me to do.
Yeah. By manipulating you, Zero was able to kill 3 people and keep the blood off his own hands. All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this Nonary game happened. Am I right, Santa?
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know any...
Ain't no point trying to play dumb anymore, Santa. Actually, I guess I should call you Aoi Kurashiki, huh? My memory came back to me, kid. You're Aoi Kurashiki, no doubt about it. Never thought I'd be back in this room talking to you. But hey, I guess this was all part of your plan, right? After all, The person who planned the nonary game this time around was Zero, and Zero's you.
Looks like you really do have your memories back, huh? Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it then, huh? Yeah, you got me. I'm Aoi Kurishiki. I was one of the kids in the nonary game 9 years ago. I made it out. So did Snake over there. But there's one thing... No, I guess there's two things you got wrong. Number one, I ain't Zero.
Dun dun dun.
Wait, what?
Sure, I was helping Zero out, but I'm really more of an assistant, like a secretary. But an assistant's only an assistant. I didn't come up with all this. All I did was follow Zero's orders.
Then, if you're not Zero, who is?
Calm down there, Junpei. Didn't I say two things? You made one more mistake. Junpei, you just said all of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this nonary game happened. But that's not it. Revenge isn't the only purpose. There's another reason you guys were playing the nonary game.
To awaken our
save
morphogenic
someone.
field. What?
Save someone?
Right. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane.
What the hell are you talking about? Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago in this room. I was there. I saw... What? What the hell? Where is she? Where's Akane Kurashiki?
See, the second you stop believing in her, she disappears. It's like Tinkerbell, you have to clap.
Oh,
Yeah, clap
my
in
head.
cheeks.
Wait, who has the clap?
My head, it feels like it's gonna pop.
7! What the hell is going on?
I don't know. I just... Oh! I swear to God, my head feels like it's about to explode.
What was the Nonary Project? I'm sure you know already, but I'll tell you one more time.
Oh, good.
Brain surgeon, I can save him.
It was a project designed to test a particular phenomenon. And what was that phenomenon? For two organisms to communicate with one another in the absence of physical contact. The morphogenetic field theory. Could human beings use these
Are we doing that
invisible
right now?
fields to exchange information? That was what this experiment was conducted to determine. There were two separate locations. One was the Gigantic, and the other was a building in Nevada called Building Q. The 9 children
Storm is
trapped in
coming.
Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles, copies of identical ones on the Gigantic. They were told to send their answers into the morphic
So
field
she's
set
been part of
and
Q.
transmit
We've
them to
already
their brothers
decided
and
she's part of
sisters on the
QAnon.
Gigantic.
That's where she draws her powers.
Yeah,
It's
that
true.
joke was from the beginning of last time, right?
Yeah.
Kidnap
Transmitters
children.
were put in Building Q, and the
weird
receivers were put on the
experiments,
Gigantic.
Satanic
Each
magic.
sibling pair
It's all-
was
it all
supposed to be
fits.
split up, but
Actually, I did have questions about this. Why weren't they split
there
up?
was a mistake. Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q. However, for some reason, she was placed on the Gigantic with the receivers, like me. Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who was supposed to be in Group A. Whatever the case, Akane ended up on the Gigantic. I think I've told you enough. You get it, don't you?
She's been dead this whole time?
I'm pretty sure you know where this is going, Junpei.
Where what is going?
She's been extra crispy this whole time.
Don't play
She's
dumb.
been possessing.
You know things
So
you
the
shouldn't.
person who thinks.
Things you couldn't.
Okay.
How did you know Ace had prosopagnosia? How did you know why Ace wanted to kill Kubota and how Nijisaki was killed? Were you surprised when you found out Ace was Hongo? And what about the coffin Snake was trapped in? How the hell did you open it?
Well, that's...
He knew because I knew. Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the morphic field set. It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures then? Imagine a river that splits in two, like an upside-down Y. The river flows from the top to the bottom, from a single stream into two branches.
You could just have it be a right side up Y, but that's whatever.
It only flows in one direction. It can never flow backward. Information is the same way. It moves from the past to the future, but never flows backward. That's why people at the river's source in the past will never know about those downstream in the future. But the people downstream will never know about one another either. Information only flows along the path of the river. But I am different. I can manipulate the morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future. I know what happens on either fork of the river, even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another. Now, who am I?
Admiral, why are you laughing? I assume you're laughing. Either that or you're breaking down in sobs.
Not coughing.
Ah. Well, don't do that either, to be honest.
I am I, the ninth letter of the alphabet.
Ugh.
But I am also 0. No, that's not true. I'm not really 0, not yet. Perhaps you could say I am less than 0? 0 is my future. In 9 years, I will be 0.
Is it Kane?
I guess? Why isn't this red?
Don't know.
Ran out of budget.
Why is Clover... Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Freeze.
Did he get the gun back? Oh, yeah. Good.
Santa's got the gun.
Guess he picked it up when we weren't watching. Looks like he's turned the tables on Ace, though. Wonder how he likes having a gun to his head.
Get up.
Sure isn't about to take that gun off him for a minute, is he?
No, I shouldn't either.
Ace isn't putting up any kind of fight. I mean, I don't think I would either, but he just looks drained. Guess he's going for the door, huh? He doesn't need to verify to go through that door, but
Hey, what's your plan, Santa? What are you doing?
he can't get through any number of doors with just 2 people. What the hell is he thinking?
Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for me to go make a wish come true.
Ah!
That's it? That's all he's gonna give us?
Yeah!
What the hell does that even mean?
God damn it.
Well, they're
Shit.
Japanese, so it might mean that he's going to fry Ace like a chicken.
I mean, I like chicken.
Now the gate's shut. Looks like the rest of us are stuck in here. They're all looking at me. At least Seven's headache is gone. He seems to be alright. I guess there's no harm in trying. Let's see if this door still opens.
Damn. Well, it looks like this door isn't opening anytime soon.
Oh, you mean we're trapped?
So it would seem.
What the hell is Santa trying to do?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, what?
Have you considered where we are? There can really only be one thing Santa would do now.
No.
Consider it, everyone?
No, you can't be serious.
Light it up.
No, but he is. Shit, we gotta do something. Maybe we can still get out through door 9. There's the red. Yeah, alright, we can do this. I've just gotta... No, it's not gonna work. There's no way. The 5 of us can't open this door. 2 plus 4 plus 5 is 8. Is there any combination that'll work?
Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook?
Sure, why not? I don't think I'm gonna need
And
them.
then she stabs you in the head with a
Ever
pen.
again. She certainly looks purposeful. Looks like she's writing equations, a lot of them. Huh? Ah, man, she doesn't look very happy. What? Hey, no need to be ripping out pages like that. Jeez.
What the hell are you doing, Clover? Give me that!
Alright, at least 7 got it away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she was writing. Let's see.
What? And there's no other way?
Anime grunting.
Where's Lotus? Looks like she'd figured it out, though. Man, this is just too cruel.
It's okay. Go.
Lotus.
Come on, you know we can't do that.
Oh, don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me.
God damn it, you idiot!
Oh, where the hell did that come from? Looks like she expected that about as much as I did. Why isn't this red? His internal monologue has been red all the rest of the time.
I guess he voice actor fell asleep.
If you're not... Look, it'd be bad, alright?
Somebody's got a crush.
For a cop, he sure doesn't have much confidence.
Bad?
Yeah.
Well,
if there
there's
weren't
a lot
assholes
there
like
to
you
be
around, I'd
crushing
be out
on,
of a job.
apparently.
Oh.
Look, I'm just not leaving you behind, alright? End of story.
7.
He's right. I'm not leaving you either.
Me too.
You didn't honestly think I'd abandon you, did you?
You're all idiots.
Act as tough as you want, Lotus. We can all see you're about to cry.
That being said, however, I doubt we would be able to open the door anyway, even if we were to leave Lotus behind.
Huh? Why?
I trust you remember what happened to Ace? I couldn't, see exactly what happened, but I was able to guess what he was attempting to do earlier at the Red.
Oh, yeah.
No! What is this? Why? The digital root should be 9! It has to be 9!
She has nice shoes.
I still take umbrage
isn't it
with the armpit boob. Because I feel like gravity would... Like, that armpit is the highest point of her torso, and the boob would retreat away from the armpit from gravity.
You're correct.
Just to see, why don't we give it a shot?
Give it a shot.
Yes, that is what I said.
Oh, it worked! Peace, Lotus!
You were right.
It ain't opening.
But it did open 9 years ago. The digital root was 9 then, I'm sure of it.
You think maybe they changed the settings?
Perhaps.
Or perhaps one of the people back then was 0!
Can't get through the door, we can't get out.
Just swipe everyone and see if that works. It's your ideal situation. There's no cost in trying it.
Just run all 5 bracelets.
I mean, that's what I think, but you know he's gonna have to, like, think about it for a while.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna learn something about it, that one of these people is in fact 0.
I guess this is it.
To hell with everything we know, and to hell with the Prime Directive. Just run them all.
A Kane vision?
That's interesting.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, not a huge spoiler.
Wasn't a Kane vision before?
No, it wasn't. Now that we know it's a Kane, who feels like reading?
Still you.
Yep.
Me?
Yeah?
I was watching. I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. I was listening. Every sound that vibrated in his eardrums, I heard. Smell, taste, touch.
Stop reading that so
Bitch, aren't you supposed to
sensually.
be a transmitter, not a receiver? What is this?
I felt
That's a
everything
great point.
he felt. I knew. I knew everything about him.
Oh boy.
What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All of his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness was inside of him. Through the morphic field set, we were resident, and we were as one. I was him, and at the same time, I was an observer. It started with a tremendous noise like a clap of thunder. That was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off on the ship we were on. That was when my resonance with him began. My resonant event melted into him and we became one, inside of Junpei. Somehow I found myself in Junpei's mind, 9 years in the future. But I didn't lose myself. I was living in 2 realities at once. One was the present, and the other was the future. Perhaps you can think of it as 2 movies showing on the same screen at the same time.
No wonder she's been getting headaches.
Eventually, it becomes difficult to separate them and determine which movie is which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me.
Come on, over here!
That was my brother, Aoi. He was yelling.
It's pronounced owie.
Owie?
Yeah, like
I
you're
followed.
4 and something bites you. Now you have an
I followed.
owie.
I followed him. Okay. Around me were 7 other children. They all looked like they were about my age.
Come on, hurry up!
We ran down a long, straight hallway and burst into the large hospital room. Everyone was arguing. 2 of the boys got in a fist fight. Girl watching them began to cry. I want to go home, she cried. I want to go home. Another girl slapped the crying girl and glared down at her. It has been 2 hours since the notary game began. We were starting to fall apart. But just when all hope seemed lost, Light Yagami started talking. He was blind. 9 years later, we would call him Snake.
Hello? Everyone?
Snake.
Could you come over here for a moment?
Snake! He was older than most of us, and his voice had authority and dignity. The fights died down, and we gathered around him.
I have a little sister. She is very important to me. Right now, she is over in Building Q, and is desperately trying to send information over to me. Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday.
Oh, that's her actual name?
As he spoke, he pulled something from his pocket. In his hand were 9 four-leaf clovers.
I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted. I'm sure I've already told you, but I am blind. For a man who can't see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant is, well, it is difficult. But my sister means a great deal to me, and I hope that these would show her how much I cared for her. Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 four-leaf clovers would be appropriate. Every one of you has a brother or a sister in Building Q with Clover. For their
You think
sake,
the person...
we have to survive. We have to get off this ship. Do you understand?
You think the person on Snake's left, our right, is Lotus's kid?
Yeah, they've telegraphed it pretty obviously.
If
Yeah,
we're
no
going
doubt.
to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember. We need trust and love, and we have to have faith in one another. If we can take all
Those are
3
the
of those to
things
heart,
that Snake
then I
hates.
promise
Or
that good
Santa
luck
hates.
will come our way. Did you know that the leaves on the 4-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck? Those words are leaf words. So if you believe what I've told you, and you understand, then I want you each to have one of these. They're a promise between friends.
He gave a clover to each of us. I took one too. Eventually, he was left with only a single 4-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say.
Now, don't ever forget. So long as you have that, we will always be connected. Do you understand?
When he finished, the tension of only a few minutes before was gone. We were calm. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several of the numbered doors until we finally found a door with the number 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with 9 on them, and we found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. Before long, we all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, this room had another number 9, but this time, it was only 1. But if there was only 1 door, that meant only 5 people could escape.
What are we gonna do? There aren't any other doors!
We began to panic. Then, as if things had not gotten bad enough already,
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
What? What's happening? What did that thing say? That didn't sound good.
my brother, Owie, swallowed hard and answered.
I think it means this room is gonna burn.
Burn!
The plaque on the door says incinerator, and that voice said that the incineration is about to start. And incinerate means to burn.
No! Help me!
Abject terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, high up on the wall, a door opened, and a man appeared. He was a huge, frightening mountain of a man, as large as a bear. 9 years later, we would call him 7.
Don't worry, kids, I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you.
The rest happened just like 7 had said it did. The 4 of us who had stayed behind were saved by 7. We crawled through the vent, away from the incinerator, and slid down into the hall. We came out on the other side of door 9. On the wall opposite the door was a set of double doors. We went through those and began to run up the spiral stairs. As we ran, I led the way. Behind me were Nona, my brother, Owie, Snake, and 7. The other children, the ones who'd gone through door 9 before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We leapt across as many stairs as we could and kept running. The stairs spiraled up like a tornado. Eventually, I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to time to see if they had caught up. That was when I realized.
Oh no, where is it? Did I drop Jumpy's present?
I knew I'd had it with me when we passed through the vent. Then, had I dropped it as we slid out? I had to go back. I had to. But I knew I couldn't tell the others. They would stop me. I was sure of that. I didn't stop to think, I simply moved. I ran to the central hall, the room that connected to all the other areas of the ship. I hid in the shadows, and moments later I felt a rush of wind as they ran past me, up the staircase. I waited until they were out of sight, and then I ran. I moved as quietly as I could, down and down and down. Finally, I reached the bottom deck.
Just in time to give Junpei survivor's guilt 9 years later.
Yeah.
I ran into the hallway and looked around frantically.
There it is!
It was just where I thought it would be, sitting under the opening of the vent. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but as I ran back toward the stairs and freedom, the door to the incinerator opened and a man stepped out. It was Hongo. Gentaro Hongo. 9 years later, we would call him Ass.
Ah, how wonderful to see you decided to come back.
His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanical, as if someone had simply pulled up the corners of his mouth.
Come with me. We must continue the experiment.
I shook my head, eyes wide. Slowly, I began to walk backwards. 1 step, 2 step, red step, blue step. Then I spun around and broke into a run. I felt Hongo's hand close over my left wrist.
I said, come with me.
There was an edge of insanity to his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could.
No! Stop! Let go of me! Let go!
I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hongo to let go of me. But I was still only a child. I was no match for a man like Hongo.
Stop struggling, goddammit! Do as I tell you!
He heaved on my arm, trying to pull me into the incinerator. I screamed.
Help me! Somebody help me!
Then suddenly,
Akane!
the door to the stairs flew open. And my brother, Owie, burst out of it. Behind him came Seven and Snake!
Akane!
He cried my name again as he leapt toward Hongo.
You came back!
I cried out. But then,
Ha! You're too late, idiot!
Hongo threw his full weight against my arm, pulling us both into the incinerator.
Ah!
The force of it threw me to the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked toward the open number 9 door. Hongo stood between it and me, but behind him I could see my brother, his fists clenched. But those fists never reached Hongo. With the cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongo glanced at me mechanically, his face registering that there was an object there, but not anything he would consider a human being. Then he turned away and walked to the red that sat next to the door. He reached into his pocket and removed 2 bracelets. He waved them both over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared on the red. He checked the screen, then tossed the bracelets carelessly onto the floor. What was he doing? What was the point? He made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing at all, and walked past me as though I were nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later, the two other doors slid shut as well. Faintly, I could hear someone pounding on the door behind me. I turned around and ran toward the door with the 9.
Akane! Akane! Are you okay?
I could hear a voice from the other side of the door. A worried, frightened voice.
Help me!
My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could. My voice echoed lonely around the empty room.
What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here!
Where's Hongo?
He went out the other door!
What?
Then it started again.
Warning. Warning. Emergency Incineration Command has been acknowledged. Incineration will begin in 8
Look at this.
minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately.
Holy shit. Man, I knew what it was gonna say, but that is one hell of a creepy voice.
I knew it!
It's starting.
Santa started the incinerator.
Fuck! Man, I never thought I'd hear that damn voice again after 9 years.
What the hell? What the hell? What in God's name are you talking about? It's 9 years this and 9 years that, and when it's not 9 years something, then you're talking about some sort of fucking experiments. You aren't making any sense.
I'm sorry, Lotus, but we really don't have time to explain it right now. I promise, I'll tell you everything once we get out of here.
But
Incineration will begin in 17 minutes.
But nothing. We got
know
no
what
time
that
for
means,
this.
right? Incinerate means burn. What kind of idiot do you think I am? I know what incinerate means. Well, god damn it. Okay, fine. I won't ask anything else. Talk about whatever you want. But you have to do something for me. 7, figure this out.
What? Why me?
Just shut up and stop this thing.
How the hell?
There has to be some sort of emergency shut-off button.
There isn't anything like that.
How the hell do you know?
Because I looked for it 9 years ago.
Yeah, Lotus is happy about that. Can't really blame her. Wait. The floor, it's moving. What the fuck is that? What else can I say about it? But
What the hell is that?
What is that?
what else can
What
I
else
say?
could I say?
Sorry.
Oh, you want this?
It's funny that we seem to have switched genders, but no, I think you should still read Akane and I'll keep reading Junpei.
Yeah, we may as well just run with the joke, right?
It's not even a joke, it's just kind of a fun switch.
The floor opened, and a machine rose up out of it. It looked like a computer. At least it kind of did.
Rate my gaming
Has
reg.
Richard been saying stuff this whole time? Because, like, I could barely hear him.
I haven't heard anything.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
Have you really been saying stuff? Because I just heard you start mumbling a moment ago.
You all sound like Richard to me. I have prosopagnosia except for the voices.
Oh, I missed you, Kirk.
There was a monitor, a keyboard, and a cross-shaped device of some kind. Something about the machine scared me, but I forced myself upon it. I was terrified. Tears poured down my face. I wiped them off, even as more took their place, and forced myself forward. Finally, I reached it. I looked at the screen. It was blank. All I saw was my own frightened face staring back at me from the glass, drenched in tears.
All I can see on this screen is a reflection of my own face. I'm looking kind of freaked out. I know I'm sweating like crazy, but seeing it kind of drives it home. Okay, Junpei, just calm down, alright? Everything's gonna be okay. Man, I wish that thing would just shut up.
Incineration will begin in 15 minutes.
Alright, back to this thing. If it's only showing up now, then it's gotta be important. But what the hell am I supposed to do with it?
Hey, move!
Gah. Hey, we're all tense, lady. That doesn't mean you get to shove people
Okay,
around.
it's turned on. There's nothing on the screen, though. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. If there's nothing on here, how are we supposed to do anything with it?
Sure, I'll just push buttons. I'm sure that'll... Oh. Well, at least it's on now. What's on the screen, though?
What is
What
this?
is this?
What's up?
It looks like some sort of puzzle.
It's got a bunch of numbers and letters scattered across a 5x5 grid. The numbers range from 1 to 8.
Do you think that if we solve this puzzle, the incinerator will stop? Yeah. Well, we can hope, right?
Alright, puzzle. How do you work? I'm in that goddamn voice again.
Incineration will begin in 13 minutes.
Shit, 13 minutes. Can we really do this? My heart feels like it's gonna pop.
My heart was pounding like it was about to explode. I stared at the puzzle on the screen. I was sure I had to solve it somehow, but I had no idea how. My connection to Jumpy had been gone for a while. His mind was gone. I couldn't get any more information out of him. I felt the seconds tick by as I stared at the screen, completely lost. My cheeks felt hot as tears poured over them. Then I heard a voice.
Hey, what are you doing?
It was muffled. I turned around. Pressed against the window in the entry door was a face. A frightening, evil face. It was Hongo.
What the fuck?
How long had he been watching me?
Ah, don't know what to do?
He was yelling, but his voice was still muffled.
It's simple, really. But I suppose I might as well tell you. Just solve
Quit
the
staring
puzzle
at the
on that
creeper.
machine.
Captain Obvious's laughter was muffled by the dick in his mouth, but it still tore at my heart like the claws of a vicious monster. I bit my lip and glared at Hongo, struggling to hold back hot tears.
You're a terrible person! I hate you!
Oh my! How could you call a gentleman such as myself a terrible person? That's not very nice. I'm quite fair. I don't use tricks or play dirty, you see? I've even left you a way out.
A way out?
Didn't you hear me? All you have to do is solve that puzzle. Do that, and you can stop the incinerator.
What's the point of stopping it? You'll only capture me and make me do this all again. I'm not going to listen to you. If you're just going to throw me back in here, I might as well just die now.
My goodness, haven't you listened to anything I've said? I told you, I'm a fair man.
Huh?
If you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will in turn activate. If this experiment is to deliver valid results, there must be a chance of success. If you succeed, you will escape.
The verification function of the red?
Then I remembered. Before Hongo left the room, he'd scanned 2 bracelets into the red.
Ah, so you do remember. Right now there are 2 numbers in the red. The first is 1, and the second is 3. Say, Akane, what's your number?
I looked down at my left hand. The face on my bracelet showed a 5. 1 plus 3 plus 5 equals 9. I ran to the door with the 9 on it. I grabbed the red and put my hand against the scanner panel.
You really aren't one for listening, are you?
I hear Hongo's muffled voice from across the room.
I've already told you, didn't I? Once you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will activate. In other words, if you haven't solved the puzzle, you can't enter your number. What kind of fool are you?
Why are you doing this?
You could never understand. You don't know what it's like to spend every day surrounded by monkeys. Now start the experiment. Solve the puzzle.
I can't! I don't know how!
Of course you don't. Isn't that the point? You understand, don't you? Access the morphogenetic field and find the solution.
I can't!
Then you'll die. You'll burn alive. It's gonna be quite hot in there in a few minutes. I imagine it will be very painful.
His horrible laugh echoed across the room, and even after his face disappeared from the window, I could hear it.
Incineration will begin in 10 minutes.
I was crying, great gulping sobs broken by hiccups that shook my body. I was terrified. I could feel my fear pressing down on me like a tremendous weight. Somehow, I forced my shaking legs to carry me back to the device. I stared at the monitor.
I can't. I just can't. There's no way. I can't figure this out.
What was I gonna do? I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't even know where to start. Fear scattered my thoughts, and all I could think of was how I was going to die. My palms were sweating, knees weak.
Knees weak,
blood on my
arms are
sweater
heavy.
already.
Mom spaghetti!
Mom spaghetti was hot. So hot. I couldn't breathe. I felt dizzy. My heart roared in my chest as if it would pound itself to pieces. I reached into my pocket. I wrapped my hand around the thing I'd come back to get. The doll Jumpy had given me. At least I had that. I held it tight with both hands and prayed.
Help me! Jumpy! Help me! Help me! Help me! Jumpy! 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 Please! Help me! Jumpy!
Akane?
Akane?
Who the hell is Akane?
Shut up! Just shut the hell up!
You there, Whit?
She's souping.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
I can now.
Yeah, I have
She's
the
at soup.
No, the soup is long gone. I unplugged my headset to untangle the cord and didn't click it back in all the way. My bad.
Why are you trying to find shoes at the soup store?
Fuck you!
I don't know what that is a reference to.
Well, then you suck.
Yeah, that's probably...
Somebody find that link and put it in the group chat or somewhere.
I'm not sure that's
I'll do
required.
it.
Oh, fine, whatever. And I think
I'll
Snake
do
may have
it.
figured it out. No, it doesn't matter. They're in my way. Where'd she go? Maybe over here?
Akane! Akane! Can you hear me? Akane! Say something!
Fuck. Did something break her
Fuck.
connection? I swear I just heard her. Shit.
Akane! Answer me! Akane!
Jumpy?
I spun around. I heard a voice.
Those boots are wild.
His voice.
They're cute. I kind of like them.
They are very nice.
I looked around. He wasn't in the room, of course. But I'd
Boots
heard
with
it
the
so
fur.
clearly. Like he was right there.
Jumpy!
I screamed as loud as I could.
Akane!
Jumpy!
That's her. She's here.
Then that means...
Akane! Akane!
What? What?
Never mind. Just...
Yes, I am! How did you know?
I couldn't believe that he knew that.
Sorry, I missed something. What did he know?
That she is in an incinerator.
I think they're both. They're like communicating 9 years apart.
Yes.
Yeah. I got that. I just.
What did I say? What did I say?
Gotcha.
There's time travel bullshit involved.
Fuck, she's right. She did call that.
Yep.
Damn it! Damn it!
Now do you understand what Santa meant?
No, I'm still upset about this. Fuck, because I thought that was so outlandish.
I told you!
Outlandish maybe, but it's the truth.
I told you!
No, I don't like that. I don't like that you were right.
You owe me
There's
all
only
of your
one way to help
subs.
her.
Listen, it'll be yours on May the 7th.
You were brought here to help my
Good.
sister. To save Akane.
I think I get it now.
Incineration will begin in 7
Psychic
minutes.
time travel bullshit.
Jumpy, we don't have time!
As quickly as I could, I told him that I had to solve the puzzle in order to stop the incinerator.
Got it!
And I do. I get everything now. At last, I finally understand what all of this means. I know why the nonary game was held today. I know why we were kidnapped and brought here. It was all for this moment. All of this was planned out to lead to this one moment. Oh my god. This is insane! I can't believe it, but there's only one possible answer.
Are you method acting right now?
No, I'm just acting. I don't think I am Junpei, and I'm not, like, in his mind and requiring that.
Yeah, but you're so disturbed by the time travel bullshit that you're acting baffled.
No.
You need to dress as Junpei to really feel the role.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have you go get a blue vest, which I don't know if you have, but I know you definitely have some plaid.
The flannel.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to borrow one of Kuro's if we're gonna get the color right. My flannel is very feminine. Well, I have a masculine flannel, but it's a solid color. Anyway, June is... 0 is... Akane Kurashiki. She recreated the history of the future that she had a glimpse of 9 years ago.
Yep.
The history of the future was the alternate title for Doctor Who. She tried to save herself that way 9 years ago. Now she's trying to save herself right now. That means that there's only one thing for me to do. Even if this is all some sort of insane plan, I will save her. I will save Akane Kurashiki. I must save her, no matter what.
Incineration will begin in 6 minutes.
The voice reminded me of how much time I had left.
Jumpy!
Yeah, I know! Just hang on, alright? I promise I'll get you out of there. I'm not gonna let you die. I promise. So don't worry, alright? Just give me a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
My voice shook as I answered. It was hot in the room. It felt like my heart was on fire. 6 minutes or not, my heart burned with my feelings for him.
Alright, time to get to work, Junpei. Is Snake talking to them about something? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Get out of my way!
Hey, what are you...
Just trust me, okay?
Sorry, Lotus. I didn't mean to snap, but there's a lot more at stake here than your pride. I'll apologize later, alright? Now let's have a look at this thing. We've got numbers all over this grid. I think the panels are out of order, so I just need to switch these out. Staring at it isn't going to accomplish anything. We'll just have to try it.
Just think of what I did all those times before. I'm gonna do this on my own, with my own mind. I'm gonna solve this problem.
What can we move? I assume this is a nonary Sudoku.
I don't know. Oh, Jesus.
Oh!
That was too much answer. Oh, does everything have to add up to 9? Okay. What about a 1, a 3, and a W makes a 9? Is this another hex thing?
No,
Well,
W's too far down the
alphabetical
alphabet.
translation. Alphabetical translation.
What is that, 20?
23.
23. Is it a digital root thing?
23 plus 3 plus 1 equals 27. 2 plus 7 is...
9.
Okay, well, we got a bunch of 9s.
We must have all the 9s!
So, if we have a 7 and an 8, we have a 15. And we have an S, whose alphabetical number is...
Well, the S is 19.
19. Whoop.
Um...
19 plus 15? Is
Let's
that how
see.
this would work?
Well, P is 16. Switch that with the... Let me think. Switch that with the 1 on the bottom. Okay, now we're starting to get somewhere.
I thought we wanted to move the S.
Switch that with the 3.
Have we written down what the values of the letters are yet?
Do we need to?
If Alpha has them memorized, then I am not going to bother to think about it because I'm trusting him to have done it for me.
As I was saying, switch the P with the 3 on the row. Good.
Almost there.
R7. What's left?
Nothing.
Oh, that's it. There you go.
What's the 9th letter of the alphabet? I?
I. Can we make a submission now, or? Oh, does everything have to be numbers? If it does, W5.
The hint number increased by 2. What?
Yeah.
Oh my god, we
Okay.
have to spell password.
Go for it.
That's pretty easy.
It's not as easy as you'd think.
Grab the S and put the S in the P. Grab the lime, put the lime in the coconut.
Okay.
Good.
You put the lime in the coconut, you drink it all up.
Password is I suspect the password is quite literally the number 9.
Like N-I-N-E or just the digit?
The digit. The single character. Yep.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
9!
Yes, that's it! Akane, did you get it?
Yes, I did! I solved it! I mean, really, you solved it for me, but I copied everything you did!
Oh, even the dumb stuff?
Now I just have to press enter!
Then what the hell are you waiting for? Push it!
Okay, I will!
I hit the enter key.
Emergency shutdown command has been confirmed. Incineration system has been disabled.
Jumpy! It worked! It worked! The incinerator shut down! It worked!
Tears rolled down my face as I cried out to him, but they were a very different sort of tears. A wonderful feeling of accomplishment and relief flooded my body. At the same time, what strength I had left disappeared and I collapsed to the floor. For a while I just lay there, laughing and crying and enjoying being alive. Every time I thought about him, I thought my heart would burst.
Whew.
I can't quite believe I did that. But I am so glad. So glad. I feel like my heart's on fire. No, I don't have time to be thinking about that kind of shit. I need to tell Akane.
Akane! Sorry, but things are kind of busy over here. I'm gonna have to hang up now, okay?
What?
Oh, of course, that's fine!
I'm just imagining him with a hand phone up to his ear now.
Yeah, what does he mean by that?
I
You
wiped
gotta
the
do
tears
the
from my
Avengers.
eyes and nodded vigorously, even though I knew he couldn't see me. Then I looked over at the corner of the floor. There were the 2 bracelets Hongo had left behind.
Now.
Well, Seven and Lotus don't look particularly happy with me. Not a very nice look to give someone who just saved your lives, guys.
Junpei, are you...
Okay?
Shut it!
Right. Okay. Maybe they have a reason to be pissed off. So what if I haven't pressed the enter key yet? Alright, nothing holding me back now. Here goes.
It doesn't work.
Wait.
Incineration will begin in 90 seconds.
Dun,
It
dun,
doesn't sound like it's stopping.
dun.
What the shit? Why isn't it stopping?
What the shit is a great idiom.
Okay, maybe I didn't hit the key hard enough. Just hit it again. And again and again. Okay, that's not working either. The alarm's still going off. What the hell is going on? Got all the right numbers in the right boxes. It's perfect. So why the fuck isn't this thing stopping?
Incineration will begin in 60 seconds.
Wait, of course. That's what the numbers that showed up after the puzzle mean. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8. Snake, Clover, me, 7, and Lotus. Then door 9. No, that's it. The number on the door isn't a 9. It's not even a number.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that...
Holy shit, of course. We just have to put the right number into the red and...
Incineration will begin in 30 seconds.
Run, guys! Get to the door! Run!
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Don't have much time. Man, I sure hope they can just trust me on this one or we are all fucked.
Shit, it's all fucking shit. We're in the shit, deep in the shit.
Alright, no time to explain,
Quick,
just go.
verify your numbers on the red. Verify?
Is this the shit show?
Who?
What combination?
It is
All of
the
us!
shit
We
show.
all need to verify!
Why?
You really think this is a good time to ask questions? Just do it!
Hurry, 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 hurry!
Incineration will begin in 10 seconds. 9,
Roasty, toasty time.
6, 5, 4,
Toasty the Ashman.
Central gate has been opened. Incineration system has been disabled.
Oh, thank fucking Christ. No time to be happy, time to go!
Hurry! We've only got 9 seconds before the door closes! Go, go, go!
Come on, guys, move it! Okay, they're all
They
through.
like
Move
to
it, Junpei!
move it. They like to move it.
Just in time. And there goes the door. No, don't calm down yet. You're not done. We've still got to find the dead.
Shit. Looks like we made it, huh?
That guy sure can laugh when he wants to. Looks like Clover and Lotus are totally out of energy. Snake is shaking his head wearily. I just want to take a nap, but...
Akane? Akane! Can you hear me? Akane!
I want to tell her we made it. I want to tell her how good I feel. But nothing.
The door opened. Standing in front of it was my brother.
Akane!
Oi!
That didn't sound like owie.
That's how they were saying it before.
I cried his name, even though my voice was almost gone from screaming, and leapt into his arms.
Oh, oi!
Oh, we've just changed the course of history.
She hasn't turned off her dead yet.
Uh-oh.
I buried my face in his chest and cried again. I cried and cried and cried. The steady thump of his heart in my ear made me feel like I was home. Its beat was almost like a lullaby. I wrapped my arms around him as far as they would go and held him as tight as I could. Just to be there felt like a miracle. I hadn't felt the warmth of another human body in what had seemed like an eternity.
Yeah, it's the 2020 mood, huh?
Ooh. I just wanted to stay there in his arms forever. But I couldn't.
I don't even feel the warmth of my own body anymore.
The moment I passed through the door of the bracelets, it began the countdown to death. I leapt away from him and looked around. The door had already closed. I spotted the dead only a short distance away. It took me a moment to get to and scan all the bracelets. I left the ones Hongo had dropped on the scanner panel. That was it. I took a deep breath and looked around again. The huge detective who we'd call 7 and 9 years, and Snake, the blind boy, were looking at me. They seemed to have been utterly stunned by my sudden appearance. Their eyes were wide and their mouths hung open.
All right, let's get out of here. If we don't book it, we might run into Hongo again.
Owie was right. It was time to get moving. The mention of Hongos seemed to jar Seven and Snake out of their surprise, and they nodded. We took off running, up the spiraling stairs, to freedom.
Time for more running. If they can get us out of here. No wonder we're running so hard. My heart's beating so hard I can barely
Run
hear.
away!
God, I can't wait to breathe real air again. Is Seven talking?
Hey, Junpei, can I ask you something?
What's up?
That door, the one with the 9 on it. Why'd it open?
Yeah, all 5 of us verified our numbers on the red. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 is 26. That makes our digital route 8. It shouldn't have opened.
That's not like you, Lotus. I thought you would have figured it out already.
Huh? Why?
Because you were the person who taught me about the idea of bases.
I just want to point out what our tits are doing again.
Yeah, it is time for the next episode of Is That How Tits Work?
They turned the blur up
Ballsy.
the highest on the breasts. Like there's
Admiral, what was... Sorry, go ahead.
There's like a little bit of blur on Seven's fist. There's a little bit of blur, I think a little bit on Junpei's foot. But they just went ham.
Were you going to ask me, Alpha?
I was going to ask you, what was that new alliteration you introduced tonight? I've totally forgotten it. Not massive mommy milkers, but... something...
Mammoth
Matron Melons.
Mammoth Matron Melons, thank you.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think that bothers me slightly less, but I'm still not happy about it. It doesn't please me.
What are the two numbers in base
Massive
2?
Mammoth Mommy Matron Milker Melons.
0 and 1.
How about base 10?
That goes from 0 to 9, right?
Then how about base 16?
0 through F. After 9, it starts at A and goes from there. B, C, D, etc.
You're right. In other words, A in base 16 is 10 in base 10. B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, and so on.
So, what about it?
You don't get it? What if we keep going with that pattern? What if you go way past base 16 all the way to base 27?
Base 27?
Yeah.
Well, the numerical digits are the same. So, I guess you'd add alphabetical digits. E is 14, F is 15, G is 16.
H is 17, I is 18.
Don't you
K
do
is
this to
20.
me.
N is 23.
Yeah, and? What comes after that?
Q.
26!
And what does that mean?
That wasn't a 9 on the door.
It was a Q! A fucking lowercase Q!
Yep.
That feels too convenient.
Put it another way. You could say that it was a 9 in base 10, but a Q in base 27.
Wow, god damn it.
Time for more running. God, my thighs are killing me. I swear any moment now I'm gonna tear a muscle. I feel like every single cell of my body is dying for air. Damn,
That
every
is
breath
a
I take
dangerous amount of thigh in that shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would go so far as to say that you can see the transition from thigh to buttock.
Yeah, there's some butt
I
there.
think I agree.
Perhaps we shouldn't do that for an actual schoolgirl.
Yeah, except for the fact that if I read everything correctly, she's now 18.
Oh, okay, that's fine then.
Oh, you know, that's a great point. 9 years ago was her 9th birthday.
So you're saying she just turned 18?
Yeah, I'm not thrilled by
Maintaining the
it.
system that's been... Maintaining the system introduced to us, yes.
Come on, legs. There can't be many more of these steps left. Let's run. Run like a bullet down a rifle barrel. A tornado cutting through a sea of clouds. Feel like we're running along the back of a giant coiled dragon. Finally!
Pant, 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 pant.
Jesus, I can barely breathe. No, Junpei, no time to rest. Pull yourself together. You're almost there.
All right, I'm gonna open it.
Yeah.
Yes, we're finally here!
Please do.
There's water behind it.
Sure, you look like a big heavy door, but you're the only thing standing between me and my freedom. But even more important than that, you're the only thing standing between me and Akane. You're gonna open, and you're gonna open now.
I felt a hand on my shoulder. It was Owie's. He gave it a small, reassuring squeeze. I was so happy I felt like I could melt. My heart was at peace. And not only because my brother and I were back together again, thanks to the huge detective, all 9 of us who'd been kidnapped were finally able to escape from the ship Gigantic. On the distant horizon, we could see the faint outline of the ship as it sank. It gave a thunderous roar as it finally slipped beneath the waves. Its last cry echoed out across the ocean, and then it was gone.
It's over.
Owie whispered.
Yeah.
It was over. It was finally over.
So did we time travel kill
Or-
Ace in the past, or is I want to know what happened to Ace in all of this. Go on.
Or was it? Was it really? No, that was wrong. That wasn't it at all. I was sure of it. This wasn't the end. It was only the beginning.
Check the fucking flow. Check the fucking flow. Okay, they didn't add anything.
This was only a
Roll
prologue.
up! Roll up, just to be sure.
I
We
ain't
haven't
all
reached
the
the end
way
yet,
up.
though.
All the way up.
All the way up.
Oh, yeah, there's that one question mark there.
We
I
just
don't
never did
care.
it because we.
It was majorically decided to ignore that.
Yeah, it's just a interstitial scene, getting back
This
to
was-
someplace we've already been.
This was only a prologue to what would happen in 9 years.
Yes. Finally, air. Ugh. Damn, that sun is bright. I can barely see anything. I gotta admit, this doesn't look quite like...
Blinded by the
No
light.
way.
You've gotta be shitting
What?
me.
It can't be.
This is.
I called this up too!
Are we in Nevada?
This is
Yeah.
the building
I
in the
called it
Nevada
up if you
desert.
deal in the middle of a fucking desert.
The mock experiment building.
Oh my god. This whole time we were in Building Q.
Sure enough, that's a desert out there. With mountains all around it. Oh, there, sun. Boy, am I ever glad to see you. I don't think I've ever been so happy to see a sunrise. Huh? Did I just hear something fall? Right, our bracelets. Guess I've never really got a good look at the underside of one of these. Let's see what's inside you. Just a little electronic chip like an ATM card. That's it. There's nothing else. Nothing that even looks like a detonator. There was never a detonator to begin with.
Then how'd those two people explode?
Figures.
Akane.
Well, the entire game was designed to get them killed, so they had detonators. The people that kind of didn't want to have killed didn't.
Guess I must be pretty crazy about the girl if I think I'm hearing her voice in the wind.
Well, that was a quick finish for the other 2 blocks.
I'm not entirely convinced that that was both blocks.
Well, if it's not,
There's
then...
a lot of loose threads.
What
Like,
if there's something
why
after the
is-
credit?
Oh, there definitely is. I still want to know why Snake is dressed like a vampire.
Yeah. What was all this bullshit about the mummy?
Oh yeah.
And how were they seeing her if she was simultaneously dead and not dead?
I'm upset. Why did it end like that?
Haven't we seen the credits before?
I think so.
How the fuck are they getting out of Nevada?
Morphogenic field voice?
No, fuck off.
Yes, we've seen this before because I remember, like, where the fuck is the name of the voice actor that I recognize? Because his name isn't in it, but it's on his IMDb. We've seen these credits before.
I'm mildly upset that I was entirely right.
I'm pretty upset that you were right, too.
Listen, I've played a lot of visual novels that do this kind of shit. They all do the same shit.
And I'm mad about it.
But wait, there's more.
Okay?
No, I refuse.
Oh, come on.
That's a nuke in
This
the
is
background. You can't tell me otherwise.
Really?
Yeah. That's your solution to
You
everything.
don't look okay.
That's my solution to this.
Alpha, this one's you.
Oh, yes, it is.
Alpha's
It was
died.
It was just before the end of elementary school. Jumpy and I were sitting next to each other on a small hill, looking down at the town as the sun slowly set.
How does it look then?
He was half serious and half joking. Thought about it for a minute first.
Well, let's see. It looks like you kissed a toad and got warts, but then they just kept growing and growing and growing.
Ah!
What does that even mean?
Junpei grinned and...
Ow, 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 ow.
See? I told you you're not okay. You're too reckless. You can't beat 5 8th graders, Jumpy. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I couldn't just stand there. I mean, don't you think so? I had to do something.
Boy, he got his shit fucked, huh?
Look at the Nevada desert go past.
Okay, we're still moving.
For an SUV, this thing is a pretty smooth ride. Sure was nice of someone to leave it for us outside the building. Keys in the ignition, gas in the tank. Looks like it was a present, you know? Anyway, we jumped in, and now here we are, screaming across the desert. Hey, what happened to, Ace? I've forgotten.
Right?
Who knows?
That's exactly what I asked. Did we kill him in the past? Because I don't think the ship sank in the past, did it?
Well, Akane didn't survive in the past. Not as we had it. So who knows, maybe the whole fabric of history has changed.
Well, that's the thing they were explaining. The river splits in two, right? It's like another universe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, even Ace and Santa were there. Santa had the gun in his hand. And then Santa took Ace outside the room and they disappeared?
Yeah, where's Santa at?
What happened?
Wait, but no, Santa put his hand on someone's shoulder, right? Or was that in the past? Was that a Kane mission? Okay.
Woohoo! This is so fun! This is so awesome! Driving is so great when there's nothing around, and there's no speed limit.
Oh,
Hey, Clover,
Christ.
watch those bumps, all right? This car jumps even a little, and I think I'm gonna get crushed to death.
Hey, shut it. I can't help if I'm big, all right? Suck it up.
Why don't you drive, Seven?
I'm a cop. I ain't gonna break the law.
He doesn't have an international license.
Yeah,
And
but
you
you could have
do?
sat in the passenger seat.
Oh, hell no. There's no way I'm giving this seat up. And Clover, there's no need to slow down. The car Santa and June are in should be somewhere down this road ahead of us.
Yeah, I saw some fresh tire tracks going out. There's no doubt about it.
Then we've got to hurry if we want to catch them, don't we?
Sure thing.
Ooh, shit. So, did we Bill and Ted'd this, didn't we? Because she got saved in the future, she had to spend that time making sure that this would happen in order for her to get saved in the past.
Seems that way.
We'll just remember to come back here and leave the keys in the bushes.
Yep. God damn it, she didn't have to drive this fast.
Man, I didn't even think a car like this could go this fast. I'm sure throwing up a lot of dust.
It was a couple hours after we'd run into the junior high students. They'd been hiding in the bushes on the back of one of the hills, drenching a kid. No, come on. Why? The moment we saw what they were doing, Jumpy ran up to them furious.
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
Then he jumped on him. He quickly scooped up the kitten and tossed it to me. I caught it and ran for the police station as fast as I could.
Help me! Officer, please! You have to come with me!
The policeman and I headed back to the hill.
I'm shocked they didn't shoot the cat and tase her.
Yeah,
Well,
sadly,
this is in Japan. They don't give guns to the cops there.
all we found was Jumpy, sprawled on the ground with a face covered in big, swelling lumps.
You couldn't run away after you threw the kitty to me?
I asked him. He stuck his tongue out through the hole in his mouth where a tooth had fallen out.
Yeah,
He's lucky they didn't pour the gasoline on him and light him on fire.
You?
I didn't want to. I wanted to beat him up. Beat him up real good.
Because of what they were
I've
doing
been
to
around
the
school
kitty.
kids. They're evil like that.
Yeah, that too, but I think they were the ones behind those murders our first semester. Remember?
Oh, you mean the bunnies.
Yeah, the bunnies.
He plucked some grass from the ground and tossed it into the wind.
They asked me what elementary school I was from, so I told them. And then they said they'd do the same thing to you that they did to the rabbits. I couldn't forgive them for that, so I
killed them all.
Yeah.
Hey, there's just some stuff I don't get.
Of course, they probably don't know any more
Like
than I
Ace.
do.
Well, I guess I should say Gitaro Hongo. Why did he create the Nonary Project? Anybody? Any ideas?
Why don't you ask him yourself?
Yeah, I guess I could.
He's still in the trunk, I assume?
Still tied up, I'm assuming, with his mouth taped shut. His eyes just look empty. No emotion. Looks like he's just given up. Wonder if he even cares what happens to him anymore.
Hey, were you listening to us?
Yeah, go ahead and try to pretend you weren't, you old bastard. Let's get the tape off your mouth.
Come on, I know you were. Answer me.
At least look at me when you talk, man.
I only wanted to see the faces. Human faces. I thought if I could gain the ability to access the morphic field set, then perhaps I could see faces. By peering into people's minds, you could understand how they were processing the expressions of others.
I have to say, Japanese writing consistently goes out of its way to come up with great motivations for its not great motivations, new and novel motivations for its villains. It's always like, I plan to destroy the universe because I want to fix this one particular flaw. And the flaw keeps on changing. And here it was, I just wanted to see people's faces and be able to see what they were feeling and understand them and learn to be empathetic.
That's it?
Yes. If you want to put it simply, But if you are looking for a more philosophical answer, I could supply that as well. You see, the human collective consciousness...
I think that's enough out of you, pal.
Uh-huh.
Time for the tape to go back on.
All right. So what's your second question? You said there were some things you didn't get, didn't you?
Somebody's a little nosy.
Well, my next question doesn't really have anything to do with you two. This is for you, Seven. It's about the whole Alice thing. What's the deal with that?
Yes! What's the deal with Alice?
See, 9 years ago, after I escaped from the Gigantic, I kept going after Hongo on my own, hoping I'd catch him when he finally slipped up. And during the course of my investigations, I learned a lot more about the Gigantic. I also found out about Gordain and Alice.
You're not really answering my question. Was there actually a girl who wouldn't melt at room temperature?
Sounds like Hongo has something to say. Alright, fine. I'll let you talk, but you gotta behave.
What?
Alice doesn't exist. 9 years ago, I found Alice's coffin behind the library on the bottom deck. There was nothing in it but the root of a peculiar plant. My research determined that it was a member of the genus Mandragora, of the family Solanaceae. I was able to extract a particular alkaloid from it. I used that extract to create Soparil. Its creation was a tremendous boon to my firm, and we grew rapidly.
Shit, this is gonna go on forever. Tape's going back on, Hongo. Rest of
Just
my
leave it
questions can
on.
wait a bit. Now I think I'll enjoy the ride.
You know, Seven indicated some kind of feeling for Lotus.
Here, this is for you.
Yeah.
What's this?
This is, for
I
you,
see
doll.
the atomic
His
blast
name
is still
Junpei.
building up in the background.
Mm-hmm. Jumpy pulled something out of his pants and shoved it toward me.
Ah!
In his hand was a doll made of yarn small enough to fit in his palm.
Chumpy, are you sure it's, for you, doll?
Huh? Yeah, the lady at the shop said so, so that means it's for you, right?
Are you sure it's not a voodoo doll?
Wait, what? That's... Oh, man. Oh, man.
Well, it sure looks like a voodoo doll. I mean, you do know what a voodoo doll is used for, right?
Yeah, I guess calling it Junpei isn't a very good idea then.
Why are you giving me this anyway? It just seems really sudden.
Well, you know how after June, we aren't gonna get to see each other too much? I mean, we're gonna be in different schools, and I just thought I'd, you know,
Oh, okay, well, how about we call it June then?
Okay. So, I wanted to
Oh.
give you
You sound like some sort of tribal chief in a bad movie.
this. Yes. I, head of tribe. This doll, traditional charm of tribe. So I give this. It me. So we always...
It me!
Together.
It me.
Hashtag it me.
Oh, Chumpy.
If something bad, then hold and pray. I go wherever you are. So here, take.
No!
I reached out my hand and picked up the doll gently.
No take, only throw.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chumpy.
Before I knew it, I was crying. Tears streamed down my face and fell onto June's tiny yarn body.
Oh, Chumpy. I'll never forget you. I promise.
Jumpy looked straight into my eyes and said just 5 words.
I'll never forget you either.
The sky was a beautiful crimson red as it melted down toward the horizon. The last golden rays of sunlight stretched out across the city and painted themselves across the hills. We sat, bathed in the warm light of evening. Just the two of us, leaning gently against one another, shoulder to shoulder. The sun set, and we still didn't leave. We watched in silence as the darkness deepened, and one by one the lights of the town began to flicker on.
still one thing I don't get. To be honest, it's the biggest mystery as far as I'm concerned. And also the only one that's really important. It has to do with June and Akane. 9 years ago, she died in the incinerator on the Gigantic. But she's still alive now as June. But how? Was it because I tapped into the morphic field set and saved her 9 years ago?
Well, if her name is June, then maybe she's possessing a voodoo doll of some kind.
I think he's saying June because that's how he's been thinking of her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what comes up when her dialogue comes up, so maybe that's why he's using it. But honestly, this game has so catapulted past everything that yeah, sure, it's a voodoo doll thing. Let's say that makes some kind of insane sense. If I did that, then how do I make sense of what Seven remembers? Snake makes sense. He's blind. He couldn't have seen her body anyway. But Seven, he said he was sure he saw it. Does that mean there's some kind of historical discrepancy? Or, wait, maybe that's not it at all. There is one other logical explanation. Was what you told me the truth, Seven? You look satisfied. No. No way.
Is 7-0?
He couldn't.
Hey, look! Over there! There's somebody next to the road.
What? Hmm?
What?
What
the fuck?
the hell?
What the actual fuck?
Excuse me, what? What?
The burning gaze of the Nevada sun pounded down on her head.
It's pounded
Oh,
down everything else,
it's
too.
it's Alice. It's Alice. It's hot in the desert and she's melted.
The desert around her rippled with heat.
Um,
Standing there on that shimmering plain was a woman.
She's an
her arm
Egyptian
out,
mummy. How does she know
and
how
her
to
How to
thumb.
hitchhike! That's my first thought, too.
It would not be long before
What?
Junpei realized who she was.
What? What? Eh?
Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
No!
So I assume that they're about to say that
Achievement
she's
unlocked.
June.
Don't forget your towel.
What? Oh, that question mark had better fucking disappear. Damn right. Okay, so I don't want to have us go back to the cheesecake shot of the mummy, but was that mummy June? Who was or
That
are
was
Alice and
Alice.
June? Okay.
I
Are
have
Alice and
nothing
June
to
the
do
same
with
person?
this!
No, no, no.
I do know one thing. We've done it. We've finally done it.
It's 10:10 p.m. And we have done it.
I don't even care about that last unknown. Get us the hell out of here.
You don't?
Yeah.
I've been officially broken, and I am not in the majority anyway. So
It's yeah, I agree. Let's not unless there's something for 100%ing it that you want to do on stream. It's just gonna be like it's just gonna be a scene of them saying, "Who wants to go this way?"
Yeah.
Well, a bunch of math explanations.
Yeah.
I'm going to Google why that happens because that might actually turn up some fucking answers.
Oh, what you think the missing scene is? I super doubt it.
It's just gonna be a bunch of people sitting in a room in front of a door doing math.
VLR. I believe.
Holy shit!
What?
She's a character from the other game.
She shows up in the next one, huh?
Holy shit. What the fuck?
I do own the next game, but we are not going to play it until we've had a nice long break.
Well, if it helps,
half a year of a break.
that costume that she's wearing in that picture is the costume that she wears in the next game. She's not wearing a shirt. She just has a necklace that happens to cover both of her nipples. But she's like basically butt-ass naked.
Oh boy.
I fail to see any problem with this whatsoever.
I see
Also, is that
problems
Slutty
with
Clover?
this.
That is Slutty Clover.
What?
You heard me.
In the next game?
Yeah.
Well.
I believe I have gotten all of the achievements for 999. I believe all of the rest of the achievements are for Virtue's Last Reward.
Oh, Richard's not kidding.
Well,
No, yeah, it's like this is Stripper Alice. Or Stripper Clover rather.
oh, listen, she's over 18, she can do what she wants.
Yeah,
Give
I
it a-
mean, I support our local sex workers union. I'm just saying that is definitely distinctly sex worker Clover.
At this point, give it a bunch of full cycles before we go back to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alpha, your turn was a one-off. Do you want a long play turn?
Not really, because quite frankly, there's not really anything that I want to long play and don't already have reserved.
Okay. I believe that brings it back around to Silver.
Although, if anybody were ever desiring to invoke them, I do have 2 ideas for future one-offs that don't necessarily have to expire. One, we have enough people within our Thursday night group now that we can self-contain a Jackbox session or a revival of the game show series. One or the other.
Those I think we should save for emergencies.
Think so?
I do, because especially Jackbox would be really easy to just pull out at any time we needed it. Game show, I think may need a tiny bit more preparation on your part.
On my part? No, not really.
Everything's still installed?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, then those will be sort of emergency. Can't think of anything, not ready for a series, or somebody is out.
Yeah.
I think Silver should take a look at something he wants to do a long play, or at least maybe not a full, like the whole game, but at least like a longer feature of. And we'll probably meet back on his channel.
Yeah.
And I also have a special offer for Kirk.
Oh.
Kirk, you have not had the pleasure of being a nurse for my surgery deal, have you?
I don't even know what that means.
You should do it.
You should do it.
There's an old computer game.
No, don't even tell him. Just let him discover it on his own.
You'll learn a lot about Alpha, about medicine, and about yourself. But mostly
great.
about Alpha, to be honest.
Looking forward to it.
If you guys want to make time to... I know, Kirk, you have 0 free time.
Yeah, it would have to be on a Thursday when literally nobody else is around, unless anybody wants a second turn as a nurse as well.
I mean,
not for full group.
I have stuff that happens on Thursday that I want to do, but I generally always turn it down so I can be here. But I would not object to having a day away from streaming here so I can see those people.
Yeah, I actually, there's a professional development thing that happens on Thursdays that I could tune into.
Well, it's up to you guys. I wouldn't want people to leave on my account. I'm happy to just do whatever. Let's just do
Maybe
the
not
thing we normally
next
do.
Thursday, but maybe the Thursday after. You guys will have your surgery date.
And I mean, when Admiral was here for that the first time, she was on TTS as opposed to using her actual voice. That could be another possibility. And hey, I need a senior nurse to help my junior nurse train.
What training? Take
Yes.
scalpel. Insert into brain.
Yeah, it's
No,
about
no, no,
it.
no. Kirk's. No, gotta train Kirk on his part.
Take laser insert into brain?
No. Sit down, shut up, and stare. As I mutilate a human being illegally.
No, don't spoil it.
Oh, come on. It's me. Of course it involves that, though.
Yeah. It's
But
not
we'll
really
work
hazing.
that.
But it's a teeny tiny bit hazing.
It's psychological hazing.
Oh boy.
Anyway, we'll discuss that at some other time.
Indeed. We did it. We're done with this. We're free.
My God.
Maybe we'll come back to Virtue's Last Reward, which is the name of the sequel, maybe in about 2022. When we're ready for that again.
Boy, she's got a nice ass.
Yeah, I'm upset that you dropped the picture in the group chat because now I have to know that it's there.
Well, I actually feel a little bit better knowing that very quickly it looks like she's like butt ass naked, but in
It's
the
a
picture you can
perfectly
see she's.
skin-colored dress.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be because there's some flapping in the wind, so like there's clearly fabric.
Yes, but they used the eyedropper tool and matched the tone perfectly between her skin and the very, very tight dress blowing in the wind.
God, that's a beautiful, beautiful shape.
She
God.
If you were to actually see her in real life looking like that, you would know like, oh, she has a very serious medical condition. Like her scoliosis is really bad. Cause like, look at her back.
Yeah, she's got some pretty alarming anterior pelvic tilt.
Are you saying that the scolios are not good lovers?
No, I'm sure that a natural lordosis position can be quite useful.
Did you call them scoliotes?
No, scoli. I said scolios, like an adjective, not scolios, like a noun.
Scoliotes.
Oh, Jesus. I think that's enough. Kill the show.
Yeah.
Wait, are we still on?
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus.
I think that's it. That's enough.
We've been well and truly pegged, but beggars can't be dildos. All this cost us was a series of choices.
And a year of her life.
And what feels like a full year. Good night, stupid.
Yeah, that's all of them.
I think that's all of our catchphrases.
Yeah.
Woof.
Oh, God.
All right.
I
Good
gotta
night.
bounce. Good night, everyone.
Good
If we get any more
Peace
phrases,
out.
you're gonna catch his hands.